What is going on, everybody? We are back on it for the final time. Mob Psycho Season 3, Episode 12. I am very curious how they unpack, I guess how they pack and ship this, not only episode, but the series. You know, we're going to have a good, let's see, that goes to about a minute. We're going to have a good 18 or so minutes. And I'm very curious how they finish essentially the climax of the story, the repercussions of said story, if they do anything of that, and then send Mob and the other characters just kind of like a last little farewell, like this is where they're going, like this is where this world is going type thing, and they've got one episode to do. So very curious how they do that. And it's wild to think that like the series is just going to be over. That's it. I've enjoyed Mob Psycho, and I wanted to ask, because we probably won't do like a Mob Psycho stream or anything like that. I just don't see there being much traction or a need for it. So this might be the only time, this episode, like right before and right at the end, might be the only time we really get to talk about Mob Psycho, if you're someone that really enjoys that. It's one of the better animes, I feel like, in my opinion. I can't remember where I had it in my tier, but I'm pretty sure it was like in B tier. It was up there. But what is it? Because if you're watching this, clearly you enjoy Mob Psycho. What do you think it is about Mob Psycho that is enjoyable? Because it's not a mysterious story. We've got some crazy animation, but it's the world and the characters that everything's pretty straightforward, and it's just a kid trying to grow up. And but I rarely ever hear that like people don't enjoy Mob Psycho. Some people said, you know, this final season was kind of all over the place and rushed in a little bit. Like I kind of heard that before I started. And that I met the last episode. I can see that. It did kind of feel like there wasn't much direction to the season. There'd be like spurts of 2 episodes that kind of cohesively went together, and the rest of the episodes were just kind of thrown together. I feel like they could have done more. If they could have stretched out, maybe made it to like 15 episodes or so. But regardless, is majority of the people that I've seen that I see that talk about Mob Psycho, it's enjoyed. So if you're one of those people, you're here watching this video, what is it to you that makes Mob Psycho enjoyable? Because like I said, it's not a complex thing or a crazy power system. Who even knows if there even was an explained power system? It's just an overpowered kid being a kid, trying to navigate through all of it, make friends along the way. And maybe that's just maybe because the base of the story itself is relatable. But there's really no like memorable characters even outside of like maybe 1 or 2. You know, maybe like Mob, Reagan, Dimple, and maybe I was gonna say maybe the brother Honey's. There's maybe like even 2, 3 memorable characters. If someone was like to name off characters, that probably. So I'm just, yeah. What is it about Mob Psycho that you enjoy? Because people do enjoy it, but I'm curious like what their reasons are for it. But Mob Psycho for the final time, Season 3, Episode 12. Let's see what we get here. Let's see how it goes. Music is intense. She's still over there hanging out, by the way. Girl, I think it's time to leave. The fact that she's that committed to wait for him, she's like, should I stay? She's really contemplating, like, well, should I stay? Like, because all the other guys she wouldn't do this for, I don't think. She stayed. Man, maybe she's that nice that she doesn't want to let somebody down, like not being there. Or maybe she does like him. Look at our man putting it together. Serizawa was busted too, power-wise, by the way. He can't go any further. Oh no. It's not like he can't go any further. His power's getting drained. He doesn't have any power, so. Jesus Christ. And he's gone. Lost to the sauce. And we're in. Alright. Reigen will pull him back down. It'll be good too, because the last time that we had a moment like this, remember when we were like, was he possessed and taken over, like talking that shit to us, like, hey, don't worry, these people didn't really like you. It's like, damn, that's coming from Reigen, that hurts. So this would be a good, like, real heart-to-heart talk. And they've had, like, 2 or 3 of these throughout the series. Because she liked your powers. No, it's because she liked your powers. Mm-hmm. As the way you were, yeah. Yeah. Because I've been saying this throughout the whole season. Does he even like her? Like, what do you like about her? Do you truly like her? Master uses you. We know. Or used to. Used to. They've had a couple conversations. I'm glad that conversation is being had. Both statements are true. But he has shown care along the way. Did he just get a boulder to the face? Are we gonna get one true honest moment from Reigen towards Mob? Nothing work related or anything like that. Not trying to get a quick buck over or take advantage or tax purposes or anything. Don't die here. In the process, we know Reigen possesses no... If he falls from that height, he'll die. Okay, good. He got something to grab onto. I was like, if he's just free falling, we're dead. Guys. Somebody with any type of psychic barrier would be much appreciated. He's just eating this as a base human, by the way. Maybe he's had some psychic power rub off on him being around Mob so much. Like, how are we just eating this blunt force trauma? Whoa. Not the original soundtrack, though. We're not doing this. No, that original Mob opening and the original Mob soundtrack is a top 10 all-time anime opening. The fact that they're hyping this man up as he's just gonna run for his life. He's not gonna do anything. He's not gonna run or jump crazy high or possess any powers. How he's getting through this is insane. If Mob wanted to take him out, though, he could. So I don't know if his subconscious, which maybe is now his conscious, even wants to cause him harm. But if he wanted to, like, shoo him across the country in a snap of a finger, he could. God, that song is great. It's a top 10 anime opening with the visuals as well. Because, like, you can have a good song and bad visuals, or good visuals, bad song. It hits both. Then we're getting, like, episode 1. Does he make contact or not? Oh, sweet Jesus, he didn't make it. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. I was about to say, he wouldn't kill him, right? They wouldn't do that. We've got like 5 minutes left of the series. There's no way this Reagan ends up dead. Is he really gonna pass out? I mean, how he's even alive, number one. Yo, like, girl. She's... Is she... I mean, she said she was waiting. Eh? How the hell did he get in front of us? They're really making him like some epic main character. What, he's like the final boss all along with... He doesn't possess any power. I just think he can't hurt him. He doesn't... He, subconsciously or consciously, he does not want to hurt him. What? What? Where did Dim... Huh? What? I don't know how he's... I mean, he's saying he's alive, but how? I was about to say, there's no way his physical body survives all that. Holy shit. So say, how's he doing this? He wants to talk to him one-on-one. He doesn't want anybody else hearing this conversation. And there he goes without the power. He can't... Yeah. It's so wild because if he wanted to, he could blink him from existence, literally. He's just letting him know. But we know that. Part of us knew that. We knew that. Did we? We knew that. Well, he finally admitted it. Is that all it took? Is that... Been waiting for him to get that off his chest, huh? And I think a part of it is also as well that, like, he knows Mob's gonna, like we're going to high school, like, we're gonna go on in life, and Mob's probably gonna grow apart from us, and I just think he wants to get that out of there before him and Mob probably won't have a similar relationship anymore. But he thought Reagan was really close to him, so I wonder... But part of me always suspected that he knew this, though. At least, especially at the end of Season 2, or whenever there was, they were having kind of that back and forth. This is me. This is true him. Yeah. That's all it took. I'm gonna need someone to break this down for me and what happened on why Mob was able to snap out of that. The crazy things that he survived as a base human from like getting other psychics to take over his body is insane. True. Yeah. That's what he's been trying to figure out this whole season. Essentially just accept himself, with everyone saying like, I know I want to do this when I go to school and this. Excuse me. Okay, there's an internal oh wow, they're playing that original soundtrack too when he rips his powers for the first time that we see on screen. Like he uses his powers on a regular basis and he's also him. Just accept it. Yeah. Alright, so now no more suppressing the powers, like that's just him. I mean, he's still not going to use his powers to harm, he never would, but... 100%. He held onto those flowers for so long. Yeah. I need an explanation on how Dimple is still alive. Like deep down, there was a part of him inside of... I don't know. Somebody will explain it. I'll have to go on the YouTubes. We don't get to see the conversation between those two? Oh. Bro, she was there. She waited. I was about to say, no way he goes through all that. We didn't even get to see the conversation. I wanted to see the conversation, though. I'm really pissed we didn't get to see that. I'm really upset we didn't get to see. Like, he's upset, I'm upset we really just didn't see that. Like, she sat there and waited through hurricane, tsunami, all types of natural disaster weather. And we don't get to see the conversation? Just a little still pastel shot of it? How dare you? Bro, he's done irreparable damage. Like, that is going to take forever to fix. Psychic powers, well, I don't know. Maybe he's got some Dumbledore, can just wave his hand and everything will just particle piece back together. Is that it? No, we've got maybe 3 or 4 minutes left. And there's gonna be no more Body Improvement Club. I was about to say, this dude, that never got addressed. He's over here some half hybrid, half alien shit. Oh, is he the leader now? Some of the kids went on and graduated and shit, went off to school. And maybe he's gotten to a point where now he enjoys the running and the lifting. Dang, so some of the kids went on, some of them are still younger. Damn. The art looks so good. So good. They're really going for it here at this last episode. They're doing their due diligence to highlight everything. Like, I'm assuming the kids went on. Graduated and shit, right? Someone want to get that cat down from there? How'd the cat even get up there? He's really not going to use his powers? Do you really want to fall and hit your head again? And want to go through all that? Like, what? The hell? Look at his hair. This is it. Nah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. What? Him and his damn vice president duties. They all had it. Oh. Spirits and such. And now he's just talking to people, not scared and shit. She gets to really pursue her extraterrestrial dreams. Oh. Eh? Oh, they all... Oh, shit. Jesus, squad rolling deep now. Oh, they're doing a surprise party for his birthday? I was about to say, what are they grouping up for? Just shooting the shit? Oh, so he's still a part of the business? I thought he just like gave it up. I don't know what he's doing anymore. I don't know how all those people fit in there, by the way. He needs to find himself a girl, too. It seems like he's trying to mentally figure out what he wants to do, too. When we saw earlier, when he didn't have anything going on, he would sit at home and... Everybody has psychic powers in that room. Can somebody not? Oh. Awkward. Ha 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 ha. It's all over. I guess you could say this is kind of the group of kids here. Or this is the kind of the cast, I guess. But it's so wild that we didn't really get much of the cast. I don't think we've ever seen Mob laugh. I don't think we've ever seen Mob laugh like that before. And that's it. It's all over. It's all over. Dang. I don't even know what one of the best. I mean, the Dimple coming out was insane. Actually insane. I thought the body switch up that they had with him when like the conscious took over was pretty crazy. I think, oh yeah, right here. I thought it was pretty crazy. Right somewhere in this area. When they switched over and like Mob's power side of his mental took over the body, shit was crazy. And the Tsubone just rejecting him, which is, I guess, her MO, because that's about all we had throughout the whole entire process. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy shot. And I guess, thinking about it, you know, because I was like, what are they going to do about the town? How is this going to get reported? What does this do to Mob's mental? But I guess it was kind of the conversation we had before the episode started of, the show and the series has never taken itself that serious. There's never really been talks and like repercussions on damage to the city and what that'll do with Mob's mental and things like that. Because I was very curious of like, is all of that going to be addressed? You know, of like, maybe the author has confirmed or hasn't confirmed at this point of like, was Mob hurting people? Like, were people getting hurt through the last, like, what, 3 episodes we had of him go? I think they did. I think we can assume that is correct. That he was hurting people to destruction. And I was really curious, like, okay, so when this moment ends, like, kind of how we got here, what does he think of himself and his powers, and the two of them going for, like, what does he think of himself? What does he think of his powers? And what does he think of those two things combined going forward? Is he gonna vow just like, I don't need it, somehow like release it from him? But I guess now that I think about it, it was never, I guess the story was never gonna like address that type thing. It was just weird because with the Hanizawa part, they made such a point of like, you know, him talking to Mob like, hey Mob, remember, like, you don't use your powers to hurt others, and you don't just use your powers and stuff, remember? Because that's what Mob was confronting him about when we first ran into him. I was like, dang, what is it? I was like, his mental is going to be destroyed knowing he hurt all these people and destroyed all these towns, but they just never talked about, never addressed. And I guess another thing which makes sense with kind of the tone of the series of like, Mob just kind of figures it out. He figures it out as he goes. And because they're really hammering the theme of like the first 5 episodes or so of like, what are these kids going to do when they go off to high school? You know, they're taking these exams, everyone's trying to figure it out. And it was never addressed here of like, what is Mob going to do? Because I'm assuming his brother graduated, the girl graduated of the psychic club, some of the other people in the body improvement club. So that's why like he's moved up a level, and like there's another guy running, but Mob's still got like a year left, or has Mob gone up and everyone else is? I don't know the specifics on it. Does it even matter? Probably not. But that was a real big like theme that they were hammering in the early episodes, and that kind of question, I guess, with the Mob never got answered. But I guess, like I said, this show was never going to go a route of, I guess, maybe showing Mob having to deal with like the repercussions of the actions of like what he did these last couple episodes. That I guess it's on par with the show again of like, Mob doesn't know what he wants to do, and that's okay that he doesn't know what he wants to do, and he'll figure it out as he goes. Um, there's a little bit of a hint there of like him and Subona. She was like, he said that she said she said she doesn't like him like that, or hasn't gotten to that point yet. But then they're over here talking on the phone every night and shit, and you saw him like blushing about it and things like that. So maybe there's hope. And it was a very open-ended thing in the beginning. In the very, very beginning, the only person Mob had in his life was his brother and Reagan, and his brother was his brother, but at the same time was jealous of what Mob was capable of, and Reagan was using him. But even though both of them weren't the best, I guess, foundation relationship, because one secretly hated him and one was using him, there still seemed to be moments between them that were like genuine, that Mob felt at least. But he didn't really have like a genuine thing, and he was trying to make friends, and that's why he was trying to find a passion to do, and that's how he ended up in the Body Improvement Club and doing this and doing that. And in the end, he's in a room surrounded by people, lots of people that he's got genuine relationships with. He's enjoying being a kid, and there's a smile on his face. He's not the nervous kid anymore, freaking out. I kind of would have liked to see him kind of using his powers freely there in those last couple minutes, just to show that he's like, because he said like, I don't have to, like, people can accept me and my powers. Like, him and the power side came together there at the end, and like, that is me. The side without and the side with, none of it's being restricted. That's 100% me. People are going to accept me, all of me. I kind of wanted to see him just like freely using the abilities, in just like day-to-day life. That's why I wanted to see him like just gently like pull the cat down and grab the cake from floating and stop Reagan from floating and all those type of things, but we didn't really go with that either. And then there was the mention of like the aliens again and the kids. I see what people are saying where the season is. It was all over the place. It was definitely all over the place, but it was enjoyable at the same time. I definitely want to like Google some things and YouTube some things to see kind of like what they were going for with the overall theme, or if that's even out there, if there's been author kind of like follow up on, so what happens to Mob and the characters and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Seeing the X-Claw members sprinkled in there. Well, we got a couple of them. We didn't get all of them. No, I don't think we saw all of them. Yeah, it was pretty cool there for a couple episodes. And how is Dimple still existing? Was there a piece of him still living? I think he said there was a part of Mob, deep down inside Mob, that still wanted to see Dimple, that kept him in his essence alive, but maybe like not enough to physically move or do anything about it. But Mob walking around with his powers on like crank to 100 drew him wherever he was, pulled him out of the depths to this power. I don't know. That's kind of the explanation we got on it. But it's a very like, the ending is very, I feel like it's just take it for how you, I feel like take this season like however you want to take it. Some cool moments, great animation, great art and line work. Some chuckle moments like Mob always does. But as far as like a direction and a send off, and they gave us that with that little, like the last 2 minutes of it, of all the psychic kids kind of hang out together, and Reagan still has his business going, and Mob, some of his friends have graduated, and he's taken up a more responsibility role inside the Body Improvement Club, and the Body Improvement Club hangs out with the Psychic Kids Club, and him and his brother have a better relationship, and he freely accepts him and his powers, and he didn't get the girl, but him and Subona are still, talking on a daily basis, and they crammed that into that 90 seconds. Crammed it in there. Hanizawa still hangs out, and this and that and that and that. and Mob's just enjoying being Mob. That's what I got with that. The last like 2 minutes of like the entire season, it all comes back around to him just accepting it. He accepts himself. He accepts that Tsubone doesn't like him. He accepts that he's not 100% sure what he wants to do in life, but does have things that he might be interested in. He accepts that Reigen was taking advantage of him. You know, had a moment with his brother and Hanizawa and Dimple and all these type of things. And it's just him just kind of like taking everything in, accepting it, going forward in life, and just living day by day. That's what I took out of the last season. Be very curious if you guys have a different take on it. If there's already been things stated by the author that may or may not be. And we'll go ahead and leave it there. I enjoyed Mob Psycho from start to finish. Season 2 is probably my favorite, then season 1, and then season 3. It definitely did feel like season 3 was just all over the place. It was just like, here, we're just going to slap 12 episodes together, give some content, try to pump some things out and keep it moving. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like a One Punch Man type not taking itself serious. It was more of like a, because like I said, there was no talk of like, oh geez, Mob, I'm sorry for like the destruction you've caused and the people you've hurt and those type of things. It never like really addressed like those type of things, but it was never like slapstick comedy. Don't take itself serious. It was like, it's Mob, guys. We're not gonna spend, if they don't spend time on things that they don't feel like they need to spend time on. Essentially, it's just about Mob. I mean, every anime is about the main character, but it's just about him trying to grow and get through life, and that's essentially how I took the last season. Yeah, season 2, season 1, season 3 for me. Season 3 might bring the overall ranking down of it a little bit if like by the end of this year, because this is 2024 when we do another, I guess, anime wrap up, because we'll have a handful of other animes probably finished. I'm kind of curious where I'd slot it. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think of Mob Psycho and all those type of things. Your thoughts on the last season. Yeah, season, I give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Was a fine watch. Overall, adding in all of Mob Psycho, every good that it has, season 2, season 1, season 3, I mean, it's a solid like 8. It's a solid 8, 8.5. It's got some great stuff in it. And you just, the art in it, I mean, it's not Demon Slayer level art and animation, but it's one of the better ones for sure. But yeah, that'll close the door on Mob Psycho. We'll go ahead and leave it there. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and as always,